Dobar dan svima. Evo, brzo smo nazad. Nadamo se da stignete barem vodu popiti. Znamo da je nekima od vas malo naporno možda sjediti cijelo vrijeme. Tako da, ali imamo jednostavno jako puno zanimljivih izlaganja koje smo htjeli staviti u ova 2 dana konferencije. Sa zadovoljstvom pozdravljam moje 2 kolegice iz škole, to su Jelena i Daniela. Hi, how are you?
Tremica.
That's fair enough. U redu, dakle, nakon što smo naučili puno toga o tranziciji iz teorijskog aspekta, pa smo nakon toga i čuli i vidjeli mnogo primjera dobre prakse, vrijeme da otputujem preko oceana sve do Amerike, odnosno do Bundeka, gdje se nalazi Američka internacionalna škola u Zagrebu. Još jednom pozdravite naše današnje goste i moje školske kolegice Jelenu Horvat i Danielu Karačić, pre-K teachers iz UFZG. S obzirom da je UFZG, odnosno skraćenica od Američka internacionalna škola u Zagrebu, internacionalna škola, i same odgojiteljice, odnosno tičerice, dolaze iz 2 zemlje, to su Hrvatska i Australija. Kako govorimo o tranziciji i naša suradnja unutar škole, u stvari sa mnom svojevrsna tranzicija, jer vi radite u pre-K-u, a ja sam u middle schoolu. A sva djeca dolaze iz pre-K-a i odlaze u middle school i danas ćete nam prikazati primjer prijelaza odnosno iz internacionalnog aspekta. Hvala vam što ste došle, and Daniela, special thank to you since you're going to speak in Croatian today. So lots of love for you. No, you're not going to speak in Croatian today. Okay, so if nobody or anybody or somebody doesn't understand something she will say in English, you can translate it, Jelena, or I can do that, so it's really no problem. So we'll be international today. Girls, good luck and cheers, and a lot of thanks to you again. So you can start.
Thank you, Helena.
No problem.
So just before we start, is the connection well? Do you hear us well? Is everything okay? Can you hear me fine?
Yes, everything's fine. If somebody has any troubles, you can let us know in chat.
All right. Thank you so much, and we'll get started now. So, g'day.
Dobar dan.
As Helena introduced, I'm Daniela.
A ja sam Jelena.
And I will apologize for speaking in English. I have been living here for quite a long time. I'm embarrassed to say over 20 years. However, I'm not confident to speak about education in Croatian. My Croatian is more of a street talk, not a professional conversation for me to have. So I do apologize. And if at some point you don't understand me or need a translation, give Jelena a yell. But I've learned that pretty much everyone in Croatia is quite fluent in English, so I can't imagine you to have any problems.
Evo, bok svima još jednom. Evo, kao što je Daniela rekla, ako slučajno u bilo kojem trenutku nešto ne razumijete, nije vam jasno ili zbog nervoze možda malo pričamo brzo, slobodno nas prekinite pa ćemo prevesti, usporiti ili nešto treće. Eto, malo imamo tremu pa nemojte zamjeriti, ali evo, idemo.
We are so excited and we're so honored that we're here with you today to share with you our journey on building a smooth and positive transition from preschool to school.
Evo, kao što je Daniela rekla, stvarno smo počašćeni, drago nam je da možemo danas biti ovdje s vama i podijeliti s vama na koji način mi nastojimo našim vrtićancima omogućiti što bezbolniji i što pozitivniji prijelaz iz vrtića u školu. Od velike nam je važnosti da oni tijekom tog prelaska posjeduju naravno socijalne, emocionalne i akademske kompetencije potrebne za to, a da u isto vrijeme poštujemo i njihovu osobnost, individualnost i pravo usvajanja tih kompetencija tempom kojim prepoznajemo da je njima bitan.
Starting school is such a big deal and a major milestone for children and parents. This transition can be stressful for both the child and the parents. And one will wonder, is my child ready for school? A school is a place that's away from home. It's away from that security that an early childhood centre allows young children to have. It's a place where children will achieve their greatest successes, failures, joyfulness, as well as some sadness. This is why it's so important that children are ready for this transition. Early childhood educators play such an important role in building strong and smooth bridges transitions from preschool to school. At the American International School of Zagreb, we nurture the children's abilities to succeed in school as a strong focus of our program.
Dakle, ono što smatramo i što je zapravo je opće poznato, da znači odgojitelji, odnosno učitelji predškolske djece imaju jako veliku i važnu ulogu u izgradnji te spremnosti predškolske djece pri tom prelasku iz vrtića u školu. Mi smatramo da je komunikacija ta koja je iznimno važna, dakle komunikacija između odgojitelja i budućeg učitelja tog djeteta i tog nekakvog stručnog procjeniteljskog tima škole u kojoj dijete nastavlja od iznimne važnosti, jer zapravo tko poznaje bolje to dijete nego odgojitelj koji ga je pratio određeni niz godina.
The AISC pre-kindergarten program is inspired by the Reggio Emilia approach to early childhood education. Our program is built upon a merged inquiry-based curriculum that is flexible and emerges from the child's interests, ideas, thoughts, questions, and observations. I really enjoyed listening to the speaker beforehand when said, when a child shows an interest, what do you do? That's exactly that. The children show us what they're interested in, and we want to ensure that we support their interests. We want to make sure that the children have been heard, that we see their potential, and that we're going to give them the tools that allow them to pursue these interests and goals. What makes our program so rich and filled with the children's sense of wonder and desire are a multi-sensory approach to learning, as well as a lot of different programs that support the learning and the teaching.
Što je spektar mogućnosti koje ponudimo djeci širi, to je njihova motivacija snažnija i iskustvo bogatija. Loris Malaguci.
And that's really important, that richness of having a fluid in the program. We want to make sure that the children are ready for their next steps. This is why we carefully selected developmentally appropriate resources. Some of these resources include an everyday math program, a handwriting without tears program, a readiness and writing program. We have our curriculum that is and it seamlessly aligns with what happens in the children's next steps. The standards that we use are the New York pre-kindergarten learning standards. And what is so important about these standards is that they seamlessly integrate with those from pre-kindergarten to kindergarten, from kindergarten to grade 1, and onwards all the way to grade 5. There's a beautiful continuum that allows that natural flow of building next steps. Another thing that really excites us about the programs that we use is that, let's say the everyday math program, we worked on change together. We worked as a lower school team that where something's missing in our program, and we sat down and we looked at a math program. We looked at different programs and then chose this one particular one. And this program goes from pre-kindergarten all the way to grade 5. So the children are already ready for those next steps. They understand the language about learning math. They understand the tools that they will be using, and it really supports for that natural flow to be successful, because it's all about the child being successful, for the child being ready. Our readiness and writing program starts at pre-kindergarten level and goes all the way to grade 2. It also builds that once the child has moved to a new environment, a new teacher, new friends, they still have something to hold on to, something that they know how it works and something that they know that they will be successful in.
Kolaboracije i spremnost na promjenu su ključ.
I think one of the most important things to learn about is that nothing happens overnight. So let's take a look at some of the changes we made to build a smooth transition into our early learning program. We really feel that collaboration is key. This is definitely one of our strongest tools that we have at our school, to be able to collaborate with the teacher next door to learn about what the child needs to know to be successful, but also for the next steps. Because if our children are ready to do something, they should have the opportunity to do it. And the program above them, the kindergarten program, needs to be ready to accept these children, to accept these exceptional learners.
Dakle, po Danielinom i mom dolasku u pre-K, program je imao dobar kurikulum i standarde, ali osjećalo se da nešto nedostaje. Iako se mi kao vrtić, kod nas, znači preschool, možemo se računati kao zaseban entitet, ipak smo dio jedne ustanove, organizacije u kojoj pohađaju djeca od 3 do 18 godina. I znači, reflektirajući smo shvatili da ono što nedostaje je upravo taj kontinuitet, odnosno bolja poveznica s ostatkom škole. Ne sad možda nužno pre-K grade 12, ali pre-K grade 1. Ono što smo, znači naš sljedeći prvi i najvažniji korak je bio vidjeti koji su to alati, koji su to načini uz pomoć kojih možemo omogućiti našim predškolcima, odnosno vrtićancima, taj što bezbolniji i prirodniji prijelaz iz predškole u školu. To smo počeli ostvarivati na način intenzivnije i intencionalnije suradnje s učiteljicom koja preuzima djecu u kindergartenu, znači kroz kolaboraciju. Koristeći njene standarde kao polazišnu točku smo krenuli u potragu za pre-K standardima koji bi u velikoj mjeri bili aligned, oprostite, nekad moj mozak ne može prevesti na hrvatski, znači sa tim predškolskim, odnosno kindergarten standardima. Nakon što smo Daniela i ja pronašle nekolicinu primjera tih standarda, ponovno smo se našli sa učiteljicom iz kindergartena, sjeli smo zajedno i vidjeli smo na koji način ovi odgovaraju, na koji način se ovi podudaraju, na koji način ovi. I nakon tako nekoliko tih sastanaka kolaboracije smo došli do zaključka da su, ono što je upravo Daniela spomenula, ti njujorški pre-K standardi upravo ti koji će nam omogućiti odnosno nama i djeci, taj što bezbolniji i što blaži prijelaz iz vrtića u predškolu.
However, our communication and our collaboration doesn't end there. We continue to collaborate weekly with the kindergarten teacher to talk about the children's successes, their challenges, their interests, and how we can support them to move forward. At our school, professional development also plays an important role in ensuring to continue to educate the educators and support them in this ever-changing world that the children we care for live in. But one of the most, beneficial things I feel that working at a school where we do go from pre-kindergarten to grade 12 is having that chance and that ability to learn from the teacher next door, to literally be able to walk into the classroom, sit down and actually see and be part of the important next steps our children need. How does the classroom look? How does the flow look? What is the teaching like? What is going to support the children in our care to be successful? We have lots of different conversations in regards to the children. And if we have a concern about any child, again, we raise that concern with our student service team. And this is a team that we sit with, we talk about, they will come to observe a child that it can either be a child that we're concerned that they're not ready, or it can also be a child that we feel would benefit from moving on, even if maybe age-wise, they're not necessarily ready to go. So let's say maybe they need to be 6 to go to their next steps, but this child is still 5.5, but we feel that they would benefit from the challenge. So we meet together, the team observes the child that we're inquiring about, and then we again make a collaborative decision of what's best for each individual child. As you all know, as early childhood educators, children are unique. They bring their unique magic to the classroom, their unique personalities, and we really want to honour and enrich and embrace their unique personalities to continue and to make sure that they carry on that magic with them and that love to learn through the other grades. We always feel that somehow that beauty, that natural sense to inquire, to wonder, dies off the longer the children go to school. And we feel that it's so important to nurture that natural desire to learn. And we want to embrace that in children and hope that lifelong learning goes with them, you know, throughout their whole years of learning.
Evo, mi smo taj neki teoretski, odnosno teoretsko-praktični dio priveli k kraju. Sad smo otvorene vašim pitanjima, ne znam, sugestijama.
So before you ask a question, I think what's really important is for you to stop, think and inquire what really works wonderfully about the program that you're in right now. Inquire about the changes and improvements that you dream about to see within your program. What are the possibilities that you can make in your community of educators and learners? We're here for you if you have any questions.
Sara napisala, amazing job, ladies.
Hvala, Sara, thank you.
Sara is from our school, so I'll ask you these questions in Croatian so that Daniela can understand it and maybe answer it as well. But Jelena, since you are both a student at the Faculty of Teacher Education, University in Zagreb, and pre-K teacher at AICZ, what would you say is the major difference between your system, like in AICZ, and Croatian transitional process? So what is like the major difference between those two systems?
Mene si pitala, jel da?
Da, možeš i ti odgovoriti.
Može. Moj jedini problem je što nikad stvarno nisam radila u hrvatskom vrtiću, ali po onome što čujem od svoje prijateljice ili kolegica je da uglavnom, mislim zapravo, neću pričati o tome, pričat ću o ovome što mi ovdje imamo, što mi se čini super, osim što smo blagoslovljeni time što su djeca već upoznata s prostorom, znači sa tom fizičkom komponentom, pa upravo to, da, ta blizina, znači ta mogućnost komunikacije, znači nas, Daniela i mene recimo kao pre-K odgojitelja sa kolegicom koja radi u predškoli, znači svaki dan možemo iskomunicirati neko dijete, možemo sjest, možemo vidjeti na koji način su stvari funkcionirale kod tebe s ovim djetetom, kako ovdje, kako ondje. Mislim, jednostavno da, ta blizina mislim da je nama od velike pomoći.
I would just like to add that maybe a difference that I noticed as a parent and as an early childhood educator. In Australia, when I was preparing children for their next steps, even though it's also like a daycare centre, so you're not working in the school, you do have preschool programs in school, which is great, so then they have the natural flow. But educators who work in an early childhood centre who don't have that natural transition, they actually go to the community school with them to again build, so that there's that collaboration among early childhood educators and teachers. And I think that that's one of the most important things, that collaboration between educators of preschool children and teachers of young students, first grade and up. And my children didn't have that. My children went to, I think they call that in Croatia, little school. They went to that for a few hours and then just someone came and told me if my child was ready or not, but they actually met my child for about 20 minutes. So for me, that was maybe something different that I wasn't expecting, that 3 people that, I don't know, I'm sure that they were very professional and they were lovely and they were really nice. But for me, it was just strange that these people were the ones deciding whether my child was ready for school or not their teacher where they went at little school. So, and she was really great as well.
Thank you for including your personal experience as well. And thanks to our students for asking all of these questions in English. I really appreciate that. So we are inclusive, you know. Thank you for presentation. It was amazing. Do you ever get to work with children who don't have enough skills in English? If yes, how do you manage to prepare them well for middle school? So that would be EAL program.
So we actually don't have, in pre-kindergarten, we don't have an early English language program. And the reason being why is that children, so we actually receive, okay, we're lucky this year, we have quite a large group of English speakers, and we carry, so I focus on a certain group of children for a minimum of 2 years, and Jelena will focus on a certain group of children for a minimum of 2 years. And we definitely receive children that don't speak English. My last group of children that I had 15 3 to 5-year-olds in my group. And out of the 15 3 to 5-year-olds, 3 of them spoke English. The rest were all in different languages. And of course, that start is very difficult. So we need to use a lot of visuals, a lot of actions, a lot of visuals for the children. But young children are amazing. They literally being in a language-rich environment. Usually by Christmas time, they're pretty much, if they're not fluent, they're fluent enough to be able to share their thoughts and opinions. So young children never cease to amaze me by this day. They come with no language, and by Christmas time, it's like an unwrapped present. Here they are, ready to share everything that they know.
Thank you, Jelena, for answer. And I would like to answer Lucia as well, since I work in middle school. So I have 14 of my EAL students, which I work with daily. And I really like, firstly, I really like working with them. And some of them are really fast in learning, and some of them are really slow in learning. So that's really great, and that's really normal, and that's really common because, and then I'll continue in creation, zato što svako dijete ima svoj razvojni put i svako dijete ima svoj način na koji usvaja jezik i na koji uči jezik. I u stvari ono što ja radim u middle schoolu je da radim sa tim EAL students, odnosno učenicima, a EAL bi vam značio English as Additional Language, odnosno učenici koji se nisu adaptirali na engleski i onda u stvari imaju poteškoće u osvajanju drugih predmeta. Kažem, neki učenici su se jako dobro prilagodili, ali neki nisu i zato imamo taj cijeli program u middle schoolu. I taj trenutno program ima EAL teachera, odnosno specialista i EAL teaching assistanta i to sve ide do high schoola. A samo da ostale koji nisu toliko upućeni u razvojni put AICZ-a, da im kažem, dakle, firstly, you have pre-K, and then you continue to K, and then you go to primary school, and then you go to middle school and high school. And then in high school, you also have IB program. So you have a lot of steps, a lot of different educations. Yes, diversity, educational levels. And then we also have one more question or 2 more questions. And I think it's super cool. You have the ability to oversee all students and they actually don't leave the building for school. So it gives you a step forward in making the transition as smooth as you want. So that's actually not a question, but sorry, it's a comment. And thank you very much, Adela, for your comment. And we also have one question from Paula. I will read that one in Croatian. Možete li prokomentirati činjenicu da u Hrvatskoj ne postoje ljudi koji su obrazovani direktno za poučavanje engleskog jezika u vrtiću, osim završenih tečaja ili nešto slično? Smatrate li da postoji potencijalno rješenje za taj problem?
Helena, could you maybe translate that? I didn't really...
Yes, of course. So in Croatia, you don't have specialists for English, learning English in pre-K and K. So do you know some solution for that? Do you know something that can overcome that step? Do you maybe know some program or something that could help specialists to gain more abilities and more specialism in that field? So basically Croatian, who would like to learn more English and would be able to work in pre-Ks.
So there are a lot of different programs that can support young. So I'm speaking on the preschool level, that can support young English language learners. I can share, at the end of this, we're going to share with you our email address. So you can also ask that, and then we can send these resources on for you to have. So one of the most important things I think that needs to be clear is when you're learning young children how to speak a language, it needs to be a lot of visuals for them. They need to be able to see the language everywhere, and it has to be seamlessly part of the program. We recently had a program that was about English language learning, and it comes from the States, California to be exact. And the reason why this program is so big in California is because most of the children that go to these schools actually speak Spanish. They don't have very many children who speak English. And this program that I can share with you, I can give you the links, I don't have them here, is really amazing because it shares with you, the first thing that is, once you've entered the program, you can become a presenter of the program. So if whoever's asked this question, if they're interested in teaching English at preschools, they can do this program and actually have the ability to teach other educators how to use these resources. So that's what I think is amazing about it. Sharing, teaching with other teachers is so beneficial. And the program goes about visuals. Let's say they have things like the big book. So if you're learning about the weather, everything in this book's going to be about the weather, and it's all repetitive. We're singing the same songs, using the same things, and we have pictures to match words that support them to understand. And the program is very successful and but I can share that with you, and then you can really dig deep into it if you have an interest in it. And they'll actually be doing a workshop very likely in Vienna, and it's going to be open to everyone if you have, and they do online workshops as well. And they're not too pricey compared to some of the international ones, can be very expensive. This one is a manageable price to pay, and it's worth doing. So I can send that if the person asks in an email.
Thank you. You can share it with me so I can share with all of the participants. Thank you, Paula, for asking us that question, and I hope that it's okay for you. And I have one question. So Jelena, you are from Croatia, right? And Daniela, you are from Australia. Not exactly what I asked, but still very useful. Okay, so I think my question will help you, Paula. So Jelena, you're a student at the Faculty of Teacher Education, from this faculty, and Daniela, you graduated from which school, which university?
So open colleges in Australia.
Mm-hmm. So is that enough for you to work in international school? Okay, it's obviously it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I done my early childhood education and care diploma in Australia, and it's with open colleges. However, I've continued my education. We then actually as a team went to Italy, where we've done the Reggio Emilia approach to learning. And right now, again, I'm studying via online in Australian open colleges again. And now my interest is in behaviour. So I'm really interested in behaviour, challenging behaviours, and how to support children and parents of children with challenging behaviours. So I think that as early childhood educators, it's important for us to continue our education and learning, because, you know, it's changing and evolving so quickly that I think we need to keep up to date with everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm. And Jelena, did you already graduated from this college, or will you be graduated from this college like in future? Soon?
Znači da, završila sam preddiplomski i sad sam na drugoj godini diplomskog.
A što ti misliš o tome da u Hrvatskoj ne postoje ljudi koji su obrazovani direktno za poučavanje engleskog jezika u vrtiću, osim da postoje završeni tečajevi ili slično? Dakle, misliš li da bi trebali biti više obrazovani od samog završenog tečaja?
Pa ne znam, to je, triki pitanje. Možda to ovisi o tome koliko se taj engleski u vrtiću provodi. Ako je nešto cjelodnevno, da mislim da treba postojati određeno, podređeno znanje. A ako je, ne znam, možda samo... Da. Ukoliko je, ne znam, samo sad... Mislim, zapravo da, nije sasvim to pitanje, ali mislim da to stvarno ovisi. Kažem, ja nikad nisam radila u hrvatskom vrtiću, pa ne znam, sad ne mogu povući paralelu opet, ali ja mislim da stvarno ovisi od kvaliteti tog engleskog koji tu odgojitelj posjeduje i o tome koliko, u kojoj mjeri se taj, kvaliteta programa i količina tog engleskog koji se koristi. Sad, drugo je, mislim da treba puno više znanja ako si ti cijeli dan komuniciraš na tom jeziku, nego ako je to sat vremena nakon vrtića uz nekakve pjesmice, pričice i nešto. A sad opet ne mora biti, tako da.
I really think it depends on the quality of the program the educator is going at. Because you can, be studying at a school for 4 years, but if the quality of the school isn't very good, you're not going to receive very good educators. You can do a 2-year course, and if the quality of the program is really strong and inspires educators, then, so I really think it depends on the program.
Okay, thank you. Paula, nadam se da je sad bio zadovoljavajući odgovor. Ako imate još bilo kakvih pitanja, imamo još 2 minute do sljedećeg izlaganja, tako da, evo, nažalost, više ne možemo odgovarati na pitanja, ali ako neko brzo, evo, slobodno postavite. Ako imate bilo kakvih lijepih komentara, možete ostaviti našim tičerima. Ja ću vam poslati jedno srce. I thank you for joining us today. Thank you for sharing all of your knowledge and experience. And I invite all of the participants to email you if they have some questions. Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
No problem. See you in school.
Bog svima, hvala.
Good luck. Bye-bye.